Wanna see me build my most complex and ambitious creation yet? Then this video is meant for you. This is Coaster Master, and I'll be seeing you on the other side. Hi friends, this is Coaster Master here. Today I'm gonna be building a launched roller coaster. Now, originally I was thinking of making a Gerstlauer Euro-fighter, and yeah, you can see that on the screen right now, but honestly it didn't work out. So I tried a B&M tire launch coaster, and everything was going real good for a while. And I started doing a bit of track work, and I did a couple of things to the station, and everything just worked fabulously until I realized that I was going to be doing one more of these later in the park. So I just thought, you know what, there's really no point of this. And I decided to just scrap that plan as well. But, honestly, that B&M tire launch coaster, I mean, it would have worked extremely well for what I was planning here, but yeah, there's a reason it didn't work. But honestly, I had like a lot of track work done for this coaster. But anyways, I switched to another launch coaster, and that was Copperhead Strike. And well, we all know that third time is the charm, isn't it? And yes, this time it was. Even though I absolutely dislike the number 3, I think I have to respect number 3 this time, just because, the third time it was Copperhead Strike and it was the perfect one. Also, for some reason, I experienced a lot of problems playing Planet Coaster that day, and everything actually went real slow. So I had to speed this up a lot more than I usually do. So yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of internet issues that day, but besides that, I did accomplish a lot. And yeah, I did do a jump cut right here because it was extremely difficult to record it. Anyways, all I did was do one turn, so who cares? Now, there are gonna be a ton of launches in this coaster. I mean, I have planned this coaster to the centimeter. No, I'm serious, okay? I've actually planned everything over here. And if you're thinking that this layout is extremely weird and something no sane coaster enthusiast would do to make a roller coaster, well, you are correct. Because I had actually done a lot of planning on this layout, and I thought that, you know, my park needs a heavily themed roller coaster. So, why not have this? And yes, I think this would work quite well as a heavily themed coasters layout, just because I had been planning this for years. Yep, you heard me right. I had been planning this for years. Years together. I'm serious, okay? And this is part 19. I wanted it to be part 20, but honestly, I just couldn't wait any longer to make this. I had been working on this since like November of 2019. And my inspiration for this is actually my park. Yes, the park I play in downstairs. And I usually take this extremely wacky cycling route. And on a side note, I love cycling, and when I was young, I used to do all sorts of crazy stuff while cycling. I used to go at extremely high speeds, and I used to bank a lot, and I always thought of inverting sometimes, but you know, there was nothing too crazy on that route. It was just a wild route with a lot of turns and S bends. And that just gave me the idea of making a roller coaster with a similar layout, just because the layout was so perfect for a themed coaster. And originally I wanted to go with some kind of a space theme. I mean, of course, it is going to be a space theme, but I thought of making it a roller coaster where you go through multiple wormholes. But later I thought that why not do it on time travel? So, yes, I am still quite stumped about which one I should choose. So, let me know in the comment section below. Should I do it on time travel or should I do it on jumping wormholes? Honestly, if I make this coaster on jumping wormholes, then I can totally add wormhole jump as the, theme song for this. My gosh, that'll be sick. But honestly, I think the wormhole jump theme song would work just as well for a time traveling coaster as well. Okay, also, if you do not know what I'm talking about with the wormhole, with all this wormhole jump stuff, look no further than the card above. That's what I meant by wormhole jump. It's a piece I've composed on my own and a piece I'm extremely proud of. Just because I used some, at least six instruments and overlaid them to make this piece, and yeah, I really like it. I'd been working on that piece for hours, okay? I'm serious, it takes a while to make this kind of stuff, okay? Don't judge me, it takes time. Now, another thing that I have not said is the amount of launches that this coaster has. Now, every time there was a straight section in the route I took, it would always, and I mean always, be a launch. And yeah, that's literally the only reason there are so many launches on this coaster. There's literally no other reason to have these many launches, but honestly, this coaster needs all the launches it has. Just look at this thing. And sure, I could have managed with just one extremely forceful launch, but then again, it's a Mack Rides launch coaster. You have to make sure that the launches are forceless, or else you're not really making a Mack Rides launch coaster. So yeah, I made the launches forceless, and I put the acceleration rate to like 2 meters per second squared or 3 meters per second squared. One of them. I don't really remember it that well now. But yes, the launches on this coaster are pretty slow. And you know what? I've designed it to be like this. I honestly wanted this coaster to be more of a family oriented coaster, and that's one of the main reasons I did not put any inversions in it. Although I did add a lot of airtime and a lot of intensity, but hey, I'm no stranger to making crazy intense family coasters. Like, take a look at Gargoyle Senior. No, not Gargoyle Senior. That's a thrill coaster. Gargoyle Junior, the world's greatest junior coaster, which, if I am correct, I made in episode 11. No, episode 9. My bad. Episode 9. That's when I made the junior coaster in the fairy tale section. Wow. Episode 9. That was like a real long time back, I must say. Okay, you know what? Back to the topic. I was like waiting so long after that, and honestly, even before I started this series, I had Wormhole Jump in mind. In fact, even before I started playing Planet Coaster, I had the layout of this coaster in mind. That's how planned it is. And unfortunately, the day I was building it, Planet Coaster was broken. So that was a shame, but I think this is a real good looking coaster. And yeah, I did try to explain the coaster to my mum, but since she's a GP, she got confused. And yes, since the coaster confused my mum, I just made sure not to show it to my dad, because that would have made the situation a whole lot worse. So yeah, I kept quiet. Also, I need to give you an update on India's number one coaster enthusiast. So, I have released the 7-day sentence. And I think I might have said it in my previous video, even though I probably have not. I don't remember, but yeah, 7-day sentence is the newest video on my other channel, India's #1 coaster enthusiast, and let me just say, it's awesome. It opened up to so. When I released it, it had such positive reviews. I was honestly shocked. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who's watching India's #1 coaster enthusiast, and of course this channel. I really appreciate the amount of support both of these channels have been getting, to be honest. I never thought my channels would grow this fast and honestly be this large, but well, here I am. Now I'm making a station for the fourth dimension roller coaster I made last episode. I didn't exactly make it, it was a pre-made version, but you know, the layout for a fourth dimension coaster does not vary too much. So yeah, I do not feel too guilty about taking a pre-made coaster. And I've named this roller coaster Crash Landing, which I think is a pretty fitting name because when I rode X2, all I could think about was a crashing plane. So I think Crash Landing is a great name for this roller coaster, this 4D coaster. But yes, if any of you guys have a better name, or for that matter, any name, please type it down in the comment section below. I genuinely need that help, okay? And of course, please like, share, and subscribe because honestly, this channel needs the support. And I mean, without all the support, I wouldn't be spending 5 hours making all these videos. Yeah, you heard that right, 5 hours. I do spend 5 hours making each video. Because, you know, quality over quantity. A famous YouTuber once said that. Whew, I guess I've talked a lot now. I forgot I'm making the floor of this building. Right. What can I say? Making the floor of this building was extremely difficult. I mean, it wasn't, honestly. It is a lot harder than I thought it would be. But yeah, you know, it wasn't too difficult, and also I learned how to get more of a plan view. You know, all I had to do was press the home button and I got a pretty awesome view of, you know, the plan of the park, and it was just fantastic if you ask me. And it was so convenient, really. And honestly, there's just so many games. Sorry, there's just so many things in this game that are, you know, so convenient. Just can't help but think that Planet Coaster would be the perfect game if it did not lag so much. Well, that's just a tiny nitpick, but honestly, Planet Coaster is the perfect game, and if I was ever gonna review it, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10, honestly. And apart from all of the lagging, the only other minor nitpick I have is that the EFN ratings are pretty inaccurate, but honestly, that's just my opinion. And anyways, how can I complain when I made a roller coaster with 9.08 excitement? Alright, if you haven't seen that video, please watch it right now. It's called Son of Steel Vengeance. Okay, and the playlist is called Making a Roller Coaster Better Than Steel Vengeance. Cause why not? I always thought that Steel Vengeance was the greatest RMC, and you know, I thought of topping it. And yeah, I think I do see it as an extremely fun series, and it showed me as someone who was still in his pre-thuzy mode. You know, when I was an enthusiast, but a less polished one. I was still kind of a rookie back then. So yeah, and honestly, I can see how much faster I've become at this game. I must say that. Also, for some reason, today while playing this game, the staff didn't listen to me. I don't know why. And yes, that's another minor nitpick I have. Is it that the staff and the guests, they don't listen most of the time. And sometimes they have such ridiculous comments like, hey, there's too much choice in the restaurant. I'm not gonna eat here. I mean, what sane person would ever say that? Honestly, I mean, the one problem I have with Six Flags Magic Mountain was that there was nothing for me to eat. There were like three vegetarian dishes, and yes, I'm vegetarian. There were three vegetarian dishes, out of which two I was allergic to. The one thing I could eat was a salad. I had to eat that salad, and I'm one of those people who does not like salads at all. I hate salads, and I'm just gonna say that. Sorry, salad lovers. Salads just taste so bland and so watery. And yeah, I guess that's all I can say about salads, really. Well, that's all I have for you today. This is Coaster Master signing out, and I'll see you next time on Building an Indoor Theme Park, Part 20.